see, I have a familiar face with me. See, Regi, Rodgers. You actually are on my show once a month, and we talk all about the ladies and the men and relationships. Well, you're the king of relationships, aren't you?
I like that. I like king.
You like the king?
I'll take
The
it.
king?
I haven't been labeled as I've been labeled
You've
as
been
number
labeled
one
of men.
relationship coach. I've been labeled as singles empowerment coach, but I'll take king. I like
He's
it.
the king of relationships, and that means doesn't matter what relationship it is. It's any relationship, because that's how life is now.
All about
It's
relationships.
all about relationships of whatever sex it is, whatever sex it isn't. It doesn't matter what it is. It's relationships. But we have one more attachment this month.
Oh, let's hear this.
Uh-oh. We've got
hear this
one
one.
more attachment. I think this is Women's Month or Ladies Month, isn't it?
It is.
It's Ladies
International.
Month. International Ladies Day month. No, it's Ladies Month.
Yesterday was International Women's Day, but the month is Ladies Month.
It's Ladies Month,
Yes.
isn't it? Now, I've always opposed this thing of women trying to become men, because I think women are women and men are men. And men have their job to do and women have theirs. But women are always sort of trying to sort of be like competing with the man. I don't see any men competing with the women.
I don't know about that, but that's another show.
another
I don't
show.
really know about that, but yes. But I think, there's a concept or this concept or principle that I do teach. And
Yes.
it has all to do with complementing versus competing.
I love that. I love that. We become part of it.
We have to we have to get to this place of where we complement each other,
Yes.
however that is and however that looks, opposed
however you
to
want it.
competing against each other. You
couldn't-
see, so because there are some things that you're going to be extremely strong at, and I'm not.
Well, because you're a man.
But instead of me trying to compete with you or to prove to you that I can be on your level where your strengths are, let me celebrate you.
Yes.
And compliment you.
Because-
And there are some things that I'll be able to do that you will not be able to do.
And this is what I love how you, Reggie, I love how you just explained it. Because I don't see any competition between men and women. I never have. Because a man walks out of a door of his house, he walks out, in his mind, he's got to pay the rent, he's got to pay the car payments, he's got to bring food in there, he's got to take care of his wife and his children. That's how he walks out of there. So he walks out of there to be able to make enough money,
Okay.
for them to have all what he has told them he's going to supply, because he's the man.
Now let's go deeper. Let's go a little
Ooh,
bit
I
deeper,
like
because if the truth really were to be told, Ninon, a man really in a relationship doesn't want to be loved. A man wants to be appreciated.
Absolutely. Yes.
A woman wants to
To
be
be
loved.
loved.
But a man would much rather just be
I
appreciated.
love that. That's so true.
Appreciate me for being the provider,
provider.
being the protector, being the person
'Cause that's who he is.
Yes. But a lot of times, because we get on this competition level,
I know, I
the
can't stand
appreciation isn't there, because now you want to compete.
Yes, and then he walks to the dog, take the garbage out, walks to the dog, take care of the kids, walks to the dog, take the dog for a walk. I mean, it's like a demanding thing. It's just saying, hi, sweetheart, how are you? How was your day?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice?
I mean, if we just understood that principle, we would be a lot further in terms of the relationships that we've established.
And that's what you're into. Reggie is all into relationships. And it doesn't matter what relationship it is, whether you're older, you're younger, you're a girl, it doesn't matter what it is. It's a relationship.
I think I've been pretty successful in having that, being able to relate, so that, like you said, it doesn't matter the age. There's no limit, no boundaries.
there's
I've been
nothing.
able to relate, and that's what relationships are. The root word of a relationship is relate. I've been able to relate, to establish those good relationships, to aid and assist
So
in helping
what is your
relationships.
secret to understanding a man and a woman? Because that's what you do. A relationship is two people. It could be two women or two men or children. It doesn't make any difference. But what's been your key thought on putting this out there and helping all these people out there, because they listen to you?
There's an old saying or old proverb that says, "In all you're getting, get understanding."
Okay.
I can't relate to you if I don't understand you.
Yeah. So
And so I make it my point when I walk into a room, when I'm around people, I just observe so that I can understand.
yes.
And then once I get the understanding,
Once you understand.
then principles now start coming to play. And I'm like, oh, got it.
Yes.
So it's not prejudging. And a lot of times where
we all
we
prejudge.
prejudge, but before I prejudge, I want to get some understanding. Why are you that way?
Yes. What happened along the
Yes.
trail or along the way that made you like you are? In other, you're always butting up against it. You're always,
There's a reason.
You're always angry. There's always something wrong. You're never looking at the positive side. You're always looking at the negative side. Let's start looking at the positive side because we're going forward. We're not going backward. I lived yesterday. I don't know if I want parts of yesterday to ever come back again.
There's some things yesterday I don't even want to remember. Forget that.
I mean, get rid of it. But I don't want to be there. I want to learn my things. He's laughing because it really is funny because it is funny. But it's like also you learn by your good, bad, right or wrong or what went on that day. And something further along will say, oh, I remember that. And I did this and got out of it or whatever the case may be.
That's what life is about.
we
Don't ever lose. We learn.
Yeah, but we're going forward, aren't we?
We're going. So let's look at it like this. Stepping stone, stumbling block. Some people use things as stumbling blocks so they don't go forward because they keep stumbling. Others use stepping stones. That means they rise above it, they rise up on it, and then they rise up and go to the level where they want to go.
Be. Do you think you have to at least know partly in your mind because you're only responsible for one person in this entire world, and that's yourself? And once you're in order and you figured yourself out, life can be really cool. Do you think most people, because I've noticed most people put themselves down rather than saying, oh, I did that good today, I did this, and they rather put themselves down more than they put themselves up. How do we change that?
It's simple. You just change your vernacular. Change the conversation that you have with yourself. And then ask yourself, what kind of conversation am I having with myself? And if I'm not having a conversation that's edifying and uplifting, then I need to change to make it edifying and uplifting. Edify means I'm building up. Uplifting means I'm building up. But am I tearing myself down by the words that I use with myself?
Are you?
I don't. There are three things, Ninon, and I completely threw out of my vocabulary about 5 years ago. You want to know three words?
Yes, I definitely want to know them.
And people say SOS, that means help. So I threw struggle out, I threw overwhelmed out, and I threw stress out.
Okay, so struggle out.
Struggle, I don't use struggle because people that know me you will never hear me say struggle because why? I don't feel like life is a struggle. I feel like if it has come to me, the God of this universe deemed that I can take it. That's why it came to me.
I love that answer.
So it's not a struggle, it's just a temporary challenge.
Yes. Can you get through it? Can you understand it? And if you can't, take care of it.
Temporary challenge. You see how you change the narrative from struggle to temporary challenge?
Yeah.
Temporary challenge means I'm going to get through it.
I'm going to get through it. I'm going to understand it, and then I can go forward.
Yes.
So understanding it, taking care of it too. Don't put it in the back pocket.
Yes, look at it and take it for what it is. So I don't get struggles now. Overwhelmed is my other one because I don't feel like I'm overwhelmed. I feel like to whom much is given, much is required. Yes. So if it's been given to me, then there is a whole lot that is required of me.
Of me to take care of
to handle it.
And that's put in your court to do that.
The great God of this universe has deemed that I can handle it. And that's what I have to keep saying.
But that's why he gives it to you.
That's why he gives it to you.
Because he knows you can handle it.
You remember the parable about the parable, he gave one guy 5 talents, he gave another guy 2 talents, and he gave another guy 0 talents. I always wondered, why did he give the one guy 5 and another one 2, and then he gave the one nothing? Because he already knew what the guy was going to do with what he gave him.
Which was nothing.
Nothing.
So that's why they always say, give a person another job to do because they've got busy hands. If you've got busy hands, you're capable of doing it.
Whatever your hands find to do, you're going to do it.
You're going to do it.
Yes.
And it's funny how your brain can actually commit yourself to sit and do nothing because it can do that, or it can say to yourself, well, let's get up and go and do this, because it's easy to sit and do nothing and watch TV and the computer, and then you've got to make yourself. You've got to start winding that up again.
Motivate yourself.
Motivate.
Talk to yourself. And that's that last one. That last one was struggle, overwhelm, and stress. I am not stressed.
I don't know what stress.
I'm too blessed to be stressed.
What is stress? I don't stress.
Yeah.
I know what. I don't even know if I know what stress means because I don't get stressed out.
You don't let yourself. You've already convinced yourself that that's not even something that you
Well, I don't even
partake
know.
of.
No. And also another thing I don't partake of, and I think this is very, very important, and maybe you can explain it, is not to, when somebody does something to you, not to get back at them. And the whole intention is to get, I've never gotten back at anybody. And if somebody said to me, well, Ninon, why don't you get back at them? I said, well, what do I do? I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know what I would do to get back at somebody. I have no idea. What do I do? The same thing as they did to me? Or what would I do? What does that mean?
Well, I'm going to look at it like this. There's another parable that says, if someone does something to you, give them your cheek. So if someone hits you on this cheek, you give them the other cheek. And for years, I wonder, well, if somebody smacked me on this cheek, why would I give them another cheek to smack me on? Well, that makes sense. Because if you smack me here and I turn around and give you this cheek, you're going to look at me like, well, what kind of crazy guy is this?
It's true.
Right? I just smacked this guy and he just gave me his other cheek.
He wants to do the other one.
So now you're going to look at me like, this guy must be out of his mind. I got your attention now. That's why that means.
Now you've turned the table.
I turned the situation.
You turned the table onto him.
Yes.
And he had it on you.
Yes.
And you distracted him by saying, okay. That's amazing. But you didn't get back at him.
But I did without even having to say a word, right? It's our actions.
Actions
speaks louder than words.
We are poets and we didn't know it.
I got Ninon rhyming over here.
Next thing you know, the two of us are going on a duet singing. And he can't sing and I can't sing, but we could make it happen.
Hey, listen, we could put the lyrics together and go for it.
So what treat have you got for this month on relationships? What treat do you have for us?
Well, I just think we embellished a whole lot just through this conversation that we had. Because it was everything that we said to me led to joy.
Okay.
That's what it led to. So this month in the collegiate world is designated as March Madness.
Yes.
And the whole objective for March Madness is for the elite basketball programs to compete to see who will be the last person standing.
Yes.
They want to get to the Sweet 16, that's the last 16.
Yes.
They want to get to the Elite 8, that's the last 8. They want to get to the Final 4, that's the Final 4. And then they want to get to the 2 to see who's the last standing. That's March Madness. Well, let's flip that. We're going to do March Gladness. March Gladness is all about joy and being triumphant.
Yes. And I think we're ready for that, aren't we?
We are. Everything that we have gone through,
yes,
we are ready for some March Gladness.
But I have to tell you, I was not really affected that much, if at all, with this virus. I was not affected. I didn't get it. I still went out. I still did everything I need to do. I still did my show.
Yes, you did.
Hook by hook, hook
Yes,
by
did.
crook. We get out there. There are people that want to help. There are people that think the same way. So I really wasn't affected. Maybe 1 week, 2 weeks. I don't know. I don't even know if I was affected that much. But I still continue doing it because that is my tenacity.
Do you think that had anything to do with your attitude?
Definitely.
The attitude that you, because I didn't get it either, and I wasn't affected either. But do you think that had to do with your attitude?
I think it's got a lot to do with your attitude because I'm a very positive thinker. Mm-hmm. And I always think on the higher level, not the lower level. But also, I'm very careful. I've been all my life careful what I eat. I don't eat fast food. There's a lot of stuff I'm very careful of. But also, I've never been one for being in crowds. I don't like being in crowds. So I wasn't in. I went to the casinos though. I've been everywhere. I've been all over the place.
See, I just got some understanding. See, I told you how. I see, listen, Ninon. So I figured it out. I got it, Ninon.
What
so
is it?
You know why we didn't get it?
Why? Tell me.
Because we both live alone. And we're both happy.
And we're happy.
And we are. That's why.
Wait a second. And we're both happy living alone. That's so funny. I had a friend of mine moved all the way from Los Angeles, stayed there 2 years, wanted to move in with me, and I said no. I couldn't. I just couldn't. I love my life. I get up in the morning, hair's all over the place. I don't have to look like anything. It doesn't matter. As a girlfriend, I say there's a greatest saying in the entire world. And if everybody understands this saying, even for you, in the end, remember these words, it doesn't matter. Just remember that. It doesn't, because in the end, it doesn't matter.
It really doesn't.
See, you got it.
It really doesn't matter.
He got it right away. It really doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
When you think about it. So that's one of my favorite things. It doesn't matter.
See, Ninon has me over here crying. I'm crying right now.
I'm trying to find him. I'm trying to find him a wife. He's trying to find me a husband, and it's never going to work because we're not looking. And we're also both very, very busy.
Here we are.
How is your career going?
My career is going really well.
Is it going good?
It is.
Even with the pandemic and all the stuff.
It has. I've shifted a lot and done some.
What did you shift on?
Well, I went from being on stage in different cities to now being in front of the camera, talking and doing interviews and shifting like that. So
you found a way around it all?
Yeah, I'm writing for a couple of magazines now. I had a new article that just came out today for a new magazine that I'm writing for in LA. Came out today. So that's one. And then I just got asked to be a co-host on a new talk show in South Africa.
Wonderful. Would that be through
Virtual?
Virtual.
Virtual.
Yes.
I'll be on, the show's on every night.
Yes.
I'll just be on once a week.
Great.
Virtual.
Well, because you've got your stuff.
So, but that expands my audience.
Of course.
So when I come out with a new book, it expands my audience.
Absolutely.
Are
you writing
that's
a new
book purchases. I have it done. It's just not published yet.
Okay. So why is it not published yet? Because you're not ready, or you don't think it's ready
there's a project.
Time?
No, there's a project that's near and dear to my heart right now that I'm working with your producer on getting this documentary done, completed, and then I'll go to the book.
Okay.
But we've got to get this documentary.
So this documentary actually has been going on for some time. I happen to be in the documentary, and it's all about Vegas. And I think right now, since everything's opened up, and I'm going to look at Steve right now because I'm looking at him, he's right behind the camera there, that it needs to come out now because everything's opening up. Pandemic is, I'm going to say it's over, but people are criticizing it. Ninon, it's not over. In my mind, it's over. In my mind, never begun. Anyway, it never begun in the first place. So if something didn't begin, it can't be over. But anyway, so I think it's the right time to come out.
Timing is perfect, and I'm gonna say this, Ninon. I was
Yes.
working with the editor last night.
Yeah.
You have a part that he picked last night for you. In his exact words about you, he said, "Oh, she's very intellectual." Because you made this one statement, Ninon. Wait till you see it. You said this one statement in there that just blew us away, and we kept repeating it over. And he was splicing it to put it in, and I was like, "Yeah,
he got it in there.
Yeah,
he got it in there. I hope it's good. Well, if you approve of it, it must be okay. But I always think there are certain things in this world you can say, whether they're good, bad, right, or wrong for anybody else. But if it's something you want to say from your heart, from your mouth, from you, why not? You can say things that, they can be intellectual, they can be stupid, they can be anything you want. But if you want to say it, and you, because of your in relationships and helping people with this particular thing, don't be afraid to say something. To say it.
Yeah, don't be afraid. I mean, there's what did my dad used to say? My dad used to say, there's a difference between tact and talent. Sometimes people are talented, but they're not always tactful.
No, well, I'm not the most tactful person.
So it's how you say what you say, and you have to package it in a very tactful presentation so that it comes across and is received.
Absolutely. I'm actually very much like that. I'm very careful how I put things together so that I don't damage anybody or anything, especially myself. Don't want to damage me. But I'm sure we all come out with things, and we're all individuals in this world. So, Women's Month, March is Women's Month. What would you like to say to all the women? What should they know?
I would just tell all the ladies, continue to be free, continue to enjoy who you are. Don't ever let anybody put you in a box. Just be the best you that you can do, or be the best you that you can be, and enjoy being you, doing you, and you could be, do, and have whatever you decide you want. And
don't be afraid to step out there. Don't be afraid, because you cannot, women, men, anybody, you cannot make a mistake because you are human. And humans don't make mistakes.
I got a better one. I got a deeper one for you.
Good.
You can't mess up at something if you're not doing something.
Oh, I love that one even better. You can't. How can you mess up if you're not doing it? On that, Regi, it's so great to have him on the show. We learn so much as people, And I mean people, which means the whole world, everybody. And since this epidemic and this virus attacked the whole world, so now we are attacking the whole world. So what we say, hopefully, will help you all out there in one way or another. Think positively. If you haven't done something, it's in your mind to do it and you want to try it, go ahead and try it. You cannot make a mistake, because if you don't try, you don't know.
That's right.
Don't try, you don't know.
Don't know. Great.
How can anybody reach you?
Oh, you can go to my website at www.c, as in Charles Regi, 1G, 1I, R-E-G-I, Rodgers, R-O-D-G-E-R-S, CRegiRodgers.com. I'm on Facebook, C. Regi Rodgers, Twitter, at Regi Rodgers, and Instagram, C. Regi Rodgers.
Amazing, absolutely amazing guy. I'm very fortunate to have him come on my show, Vegas Live with Ninon, because he gives a great inspiration to us women, men, children, everybody out there. Just be yourself and be the best you can. And thank you for watching Vegas Live with Ninon. We will see you again very, very soon. We are now on all the radio stations. In fact, we just got put on iHeart. We are now on Radio iHeart. We're on Google. We're actually out. We're on 10 or 11 stations right now out there, and we also are coming on other stations. So everything, we just got our sizzle reel done. We're redoing it a little bit, putting a few more things in there. So the whole thing is expanding. So don't ever let the world bring you down and stop you from doing anything, because you can still go ahead and do it. If you don't do it this way, you can do it that way, but keep moving forward. Love you all. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to go to YouTube and subscribe, because all your subscriptions and everything you do out there makes us bigger and better, and we can help you even more. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. If you enjoyed the last show we just did and all the other shows, don't forget to subscribe. Vegas Live with Ninon on YouTube. We've got plenty more coming up, and our guests are amazing. So don't forget to subscribe. We'll be right back. Vegas Live with Ninon.